Hey guys, Justin Rivas here. Just wanted to talk to you a little bit today about Snapchat. Now, chances are if you're watching this video, you've decided that I want to be on Snapchat, or maybe you started dabbling in Snapchat but don't really know how all the things work, and you see other people doing cool things and you're like, I just wish I knew how to do that. This video will help you. If you're not on Snapchat yet, I will say it's honestly like the most fun social media network platform for me personally, because I love stories and you're not able to like edit your photos and videos like you can on Instagram or other programs where you can upload these amazing photos. This one is like really authentic, and you don't see people spending 20 minutes getting their snap right and an hour editing before they put it out there. It's a lot more quick, real-time, authentic stories. I love it for that reason. But anyway, we're going to get into how to use it because that's the purpose of this video. So we kind of have four main screens that we need to look at, but let's talk about the first one. This is probably going to be the biggest one that is to cover, and this is just kind of your snap screen of how you're telling stories here. And there's a couple of ways that we can do it. We can use, depending on your phone, the front or the rear-facing camera. We've got this little smiley icon with the arrows in the top right corner. If we tap on that, it's going to give us the other side where we can see my dirty office and the camera that I'm recording on. Flip it around and you can take a picture of yourself. So there's lots of things that we can do in this screen, so we're going to talk about that. So let's start with the basics. This big round recording button on the bottom, you hit that and it'll take a photo. You hold it down, it will do a video. On iPhones, you can also use the volume up button to do the same kind of thing. Again, tap it, it'll take a photo, and hold it down and it will do a video. So let's do a video, and we're going to say, this is actually the second time we're recording this video because the first time my iPhone screen recording didn't work. So let's do it again. Here's another snap. Okay, so we've done that, and now we can apply kind of effects and filters and text and do a bunch of things. So let's talk about that. The first one, and this one I didn't know when I started, was that you can swipe right or left to begin to change the image a little bit. So you get a few different kind of stylistic filters, which are going to make it look different depending on how you do it. Let's do a black and white. And for bonus points, if you hold down on the screen, you can actually apply more filters. Now, I'm going to start about, if you swipe from left to right, you're going to get to geo filters. Now, what geo filters are is they're specific to the location that you're in. In the case, I happen to be in a place called Regina, Saskatchewan. Greatest place on the planet. And so there's a couple of filters that are specific to Regina. And so depending though, if you land in Toronto or you're in other cities or even sometimes stores or any events, oftentimes they have geo filters that are restricted to that specific location you're in. So, that can be kind of cool. So we can add those filters. If you didn't catch that, again, well, let's reset here. You can swipe right and you can get through all sorts of different ones. You can do speed, you can do temperature, time, you can go slow, you can go fast, you can do really fast, backwards, and then kind of geo filters. And so you're going to get through, those kind of filters. Not there's some there. And again, if you hold down and you swipe, you can do multiple ones. So that ends up, being able to let you do a little bit more. You can add text by hitting the little T button, and then you do that. If you hit the T again, it's actually going to rotate through a couple of different options, which is basically like a smaller caption, big, that's to the left, and then do it again and it'll center it for you. After you do this, if you tap on the text again, you actually get colors, and so if you want to do a color, perfect, you can do a color. There we go. Emoticons are this little, sticky note icon, and then there's all sorts of ones that you can do there. Let's do a golf one. If we can drag it, hold it, make it bigger, do whatever we want with it. So our snap is starting to look really busy. Not a huge fan, but anyway, it doesn't matter. You can draw on it with the little pencil. Check. All right. And so we've kind of got a snap built. Now, what are we going to do with this snap is we can choose a couple of different places that we want to be able to send it. You can send it publicly to my story, which means everybody that has kind of added me as a friend is able to see that. Or you can just send it to individual people. So let's hit this little blue arrow in the bottom right corner. And now we get the option. So we've got my story there at the top, and we could send it to that, or we could select some individuals, even some with really, really atrociously bad names. Sorry about that, but that's somebody that I follow and has added me. Whatever. Anyway, so if you can tap individual people and it would send it to these people individually, or you can send it to my story. Again, that'll be public to everybody, and be aware of that if you're trying to send something privately, don't send it to my story. The other thing I'll say is, if we go back to the screen, is you can send it directly to your story with this little box with the plus in the corner that's kind of in the bottom in the middle. If we tap that, it is going to go right to my story, and so that just got posted directly to my story, and that's a little bit of a shortcut. The other thing I'll show you, and this is where Snapchat actually gets kind of fun, is if I hold on my face when I'm in this screen, it's going to bring up all the ridiculous filters that you maybe have seen, like the dog. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, that's nice. Or this guy, really funny. And there's all sorts of like different ridiculous ones that you're able to do. And you've probably seen face swaps recently. And anyway, lots of, oh, that is just creepy. Ah! Open my mouth. Ah! Anyway. I don't think I can, oh. Anyway, so these are kind of like the fun little ridiculous filters. You don't have to use them, but they can end up adding a lot of life and humor and fun to your video, and they swap them out frequently, so you're always going to find new ones. Anyway, that's kind of the My Story screen, so that's how you build those, and we need to move on because we've taken a lot of time on that screen. So let's swipe to the left to right. We're going to swipe there, and this is our private chat. So these are individual chats that people have sent to us. These aren't public with everybody, but individual conversations. And so we're able to basically tap on somebody. Tyler's sending something to me. I don't have the audio on. That's fine. Anyway, hey, Tyler's vlogging. Good for you, Tyler. Anyway, these are individual conversations. You're able to do actually a little bit more here. You're able to actually upload a photo. You're able to do audio call. You can do a video call. You can, create a normal snap or send kind of smiley faces. So there's a little bit more if you want to have deeper conversations with people. The thing about these is after you've viewed them once, they basically go away. You can replay them, but you get limited replays in a day before you actually have to pay, which is interesting. But it's kind of the short nature of this, that these are really quick conversations that are happening. But that is a chat screen over there. It works, very similarly to, how the story screen goes, but it's private. If we swipe the other way, right to left, we're going to get to the public My Story screen. So you can see at the top there that is My Story. And as we scroll down, we're actually going to see a number of stories from other people, the people that I follow. And so this is what they have posted publicly. So there's ways, though, that you can navigate this much more quickly, especially when you're following lots of people. So I'm going to click on Kyriaco here. Excuse me. And we are now seeing a little bit of his story. Now, if you tap on the screen, it's going to help you fire through these individually a lot more quickly. So, that can be really handy because sometimes people snap a lot, and even sometimes me, I'm guilty of it. I'm doing 10 or 12 and you kind of want to go through it more quickly. Just tap on the screen and you'll go through My Snaps whenever you're ready to go through My Snaps. If you want to skip somebody altogether that maybe you're like, I'm not interested in watching Justin's thing today, just swipe right to left and that person's will go away and we can just kind of fire through everybody's really quickly. Okay? And then swipe from the top down to the bottom and they will go away and you can come back and look at that later. But that is kind of the public way. Top tip here, there's little 3 buttons beside your My Story. If you tap on that, it will show you how many people have viewed your snaps. For those of us who are really vain and want to know that. It'll also tell you right now, like one of those failed, and I could tap on it and it'll retry the snap if you're having network connectivity issues or something like that. So that is the My Story screen. Back to the middle one, we're going to talk about the last thing, which is managing kind of your friends, your personal profile. You're going to tap on the little Snapchat ghost icon in the top middle. So we're going to tap on that. It's going to drop down and now we've got our screen. So if you want to do your own photo thing, you tap on the, your icon thing and you can record that and it'll take a bunch of pictures. Do that. You can see the people that have added you, if anybody's added you recently in the Added Me screen. No new friends. Anyway, you can add more friends by clicking the Add Friends button. You add them by username from your address book. That's a great place to start if you're getting started. You'll be amazed how many people are following you or are on Snapchat of your friends. Add by snap code, that's a little bit more technical. Add nearby, you can turn that on, but you're also going to end up having more and more suggested friends. So that is your friend screen. And there's trophies at the top where you can have awards. But anyway, I would say overall that's kind of the intro to Snapchat. It's tough to cover it all in, 10 minutes. I think I'm over 10 minutes, so I'm going to leave it at that. If you have any questions at all or something you'd like to cover me to cover a little more deeply, let me know. But that's it for me. Thanks for watching.